Hello to each and every one of you, BAWLER, and this is important news for you. Subscribe and write in the comments what you think about it. Russia's once dominant artillery edge has been entirely erased, as Ukraine has successfully dismantled it through a combination of drones and strategic ingenuity. For Putin, this marks the collapse of a core military strategy he has depended on for over 3 years. His artillery forces are gone, and they won't be coming back. Ukraine's commander-in-chief Oleksandr Syrskyi revealed in a Facebook post on May 12th that since the beginning of 2024, Russian forces have lost over 6,000 artillery systems. In total, since the start of the full-scale invasion, Ukrainian forces have eliminated 19,236 Russian artillery pieces. That figure is staggering, and it doesn't even cover the entire war. When including data for the full duration of the war, Ukraine's Ministry of Finance reports that as of June 26th, Russia has lost 29,617 artillery systems, with 48 destroyed in a single day. Given that the war has lasted for 1,217 days since the invasion began in February 2022, this amounts to an average of 24 artillery systems destroyed per day. What's more telling is that recent losses far exceed this daily average. This indicates that Ukraine initially struggled against Russia's artillery firepower but has since turned the tide. Ukraine is now outperforming Russia's artillery on the battlefield. It's not just the outdated Soviet-era pieces that are being targeted. Ukraine is now destroying some of Russia's most modern artillery systems. For instance, on May 11th, Ukrainian forces eliminated a Russian 2S-43 Malva, one of the newest howitzers in the Russian arsenal. The Malva, equipped with a 150mm cannon on an 8A8 wheel chassis, was developed during the Ukraine war and first entered service in October 2023. This advanced system can fire a range of munitions, from high-explosive shells to precision-guided and cluster munitions. It carries up to 30 rounds and includes thermal imaging and smoke grenades to conceal its position. It also boasts a range of 621 miles and speeds up to 49 mph. But despite its cutting-edge features, Ukraine still destroyed it. On May 10th, operators from Ukraine's 413th Separate Battalion of Unmanned Systems tracked a Malva in a wooded area. A swarm of FPV drones was launched. Video released by the Ukrainian military shows the Malva hidden among trees, loosely camouflaged. An FPV drone locks onto the vehicle's rear, strikes it, and causes a massive explosion. Just like that, one of Russia's best artillery units was neutralized. This strike illustrates how Ukraine has managed to eliminate nearly 30,000 of Russia's artillery units. Artillery was central to Putin's original invasion plans. After the failure of his initial blitzkrieg strategy, the war shifted into a grinding attrition campaign with artillery at its core. The idea was simple: bombard Ukrainian defenses with massive artillery fire, then send in ground forces. But Putin failed to anticipate how the battlefield would evolve. While Russia relied on brute force, Ukraine innovated. The Malva strike exemplifies Ukraine's shift to using drones, particularly FPV models, to overcome Russia's artillery advantage. As noted by Forbes military expert David Hambling, at the start of the war, Russia had a 10-to-1 artillery advantage over Ukraine. This imbalance led President Volodymyr Zelensky to urgently request more artillery shells from Western allies. For example, in late 2023, Zelensky warned of severe ammunition shortages, giving Russia a window to exploit its firepower advantage. With limited shell resupply, Ukraine pivoted to alternative tactics, namely drones. FPV drones became the ideal counter to artillery, fast, accurate, and cheap, but drones weren't the only tool in play. According to Michael, a Ukrainian drone commander interviewed by Forbes, radar systems play a key role too. US-made ANTP-Q36 Firefinder radars and Ukrainian acoustic detectors can identify artillery fire locations, although initially only to within a 200x200 meter area. The Firefinder can track up to 10 targets at once and even predict where incoming rounds will land. Acoustic sensors developed by Vidar Systems can pinpoint Russian artillery within 15 miles using sound triangulation. But these tools only narrow the search. Drones confirm exact positions. Fixed-wing and recon drones capture real-time video and high-resolution imagery. As Michael explains, artillery becomes visible when firing due to muzzle flashes, smoke, or crew movement. Even hidden systems can be found by tracks, disturbed ground, or thermal signatures. Once recon drones spot the target, FPV drones are launched to strike. This process has caught Russia off guard. Unlike traditional counter-artillery fire, which involves shelling approximate locations and often missing, drones offer pinpoint accuracy. An artillery shell might take 30 seconds to reach a target, by which time the mobile Russian unit may have moved. Drones can track and strike moving targets in real time. Michael notes that while FPV drones may take minutes to arrive, they usually strike on the first attempt. Artillery, by contrast, often misses initially and requires multiple rounds. Ukraine's drone-centric strategy is simply more effective. Putin's problem is that artillery can't shoot down drones effectively. Even a lucky hit would only delay Ukraine's response. Another drone would be on its way immediately. Each drone delivers a live video feed, letting operators guide it precisely to weak points in the artillery system. The Malva strike is a perfect example. As Syrskyi said in April, Ukraine's drone operations have halved Russia's daily shell usage, from 40,000 shells per day to 23,000, and likely even fewer now. This shift has massive implications. Drones have become the defining weapon of this war, more impactful than even Russia's most advanced artillery systems. Ukraine is currently aiming to manufacture 4.5 million drones by the end of the year. Russia, playing catch-up, plans to build 2 million FPV drones in 2025 and has doubled long-range drone production to 30,000 units. Both sides are also deploying decoy drones to overwhelm enemy air defenses. According to National Security News, drones now account for around 80% of all battlefield casualties in the war. They've overtaken artillery as the top cause of destruction. Putin's once revered god of war is becoming obsolete. In its place rises an unmanned force of precision drone weaponry. But this shift is not just about technology. It's also about Russia's dwindling supply lines. Ukraine's strikes on Russian shell factories and transport routes are further limiting Russia's ability to sustain artillery operations. As of December 2024, Sky News reported that Russia fired just 1.5 shells for every one Ukraine returned, a massive shift from the early days of the war. And though Russia still produces about 250,000 shells per month, roughly 3 million annually, their effectiveness declines as artillery pieces are lost. Russia's external supply options are shrinking too. North Korea has sent at least 64 shipments of artillery shells, estimated between 4.2 to 5.8 million rounds. But future deliveries depend on Pyongyang's industrial capacity. Meanwhile, Iran, once a major arms supplier, is under severe pressure from Israeli and US strikes, especially Operations Rising Line and Midnight Hammer, which have crippled many Iranian military and nuclear facilities. Iran now struggles to export anything, including drones and missiles, due to its own dwindling stockpiles and urgent defensive needs. It's down to just 1,445 missiles from a pre-conflict estimate of 3,000. Those won't be reaching Russia anytime soon. So while artillery is still part of Russia's campaign, it's no longer the unstoppable force it once was. Ukraine's radar-guided, drone-enabled strike capability is systematically removing it from the battlefield. This marks the beginning of a broader military evolution. Artillery's role is fading. Drones, fast, precise, and lethal, are taking over. The god of war is dying. In its place rises a new, unmanned power reshaping modern warfare, and artillery isn't the only Russian vulnerability. Ukraine's offensive momentum continues, with successful strikes on critical sites within Russian territory. To learn more, check out our latest video. And don't forget to subscribe to BAWLER for sharp, timely insights on the Ukraine war.